Welcome to the night before the biggest game in the Stoops era. I am so glad we are past that statement of always saying this is the biggest game of the Stoops era. Speaking of that, I just saw I think it was from Deadspin I was reading, how they were saying Stoops is overpaid because of his total record. That's how stupid some people are. This guy inherited a 2-10 team. And so you are trying to grade his entire piece of work when he came off a 2-10 season. Look at the progression from there. Look, we won 18 games the last season. So, that's some people are freaking idiotic. They just read numbers and don't freaking delve into the numbers. But it's Friday, so let's get into what we normally get into. So we're going to watch the first series offensively and defensively of Tennessee. Then I'm going to do my picks. And let's see how much time we have after that. And then we'll go from there. All right. So this is indicative of how this first half went for Tennessee and why this game wasn't as close as what it ended up being. Now, they did lose one of their linebackers, DeAndre Johnson, really early. And that probably affected them. But it is what it is. Let's just show you. Now, we can run on these guys. Their defensive line isn't very stout. So we should be able to get some going. They run a conventional off defense. So it's not going to be crazy like Mississippi State. And so this shows you, if you didn't know how this game started, it started with a fumble touchdown. So that was 7 of Tennessee's 21 points right there. They're not a bad defense. I think our front can handle them. I think our offensive line as a whole is better than Georgia. We will have to come back and have a big week this week offensively as far as the offensive line. Although, like I said on Wednesday and Monday, that scheme they were facing was more difficult than people would give credit. Mississippi State is a better defense than most people give credit. I went over this play last Saturday when it was in the game, and it bugs me still seeing it now live again, is that I hate it when DBs give up inside leverage. One thing you cannot give up is inside leverage. And the problem with this play was this DB played around a lot. I don't know what he was disguising. He was outside, then he was inside. Now he's outside. Now he's outside this guy. And you know he's outside by just alignment. The receiver is on the freaking hash. This guy is outside shoulder big time. And he gets beat inside. Now, the only thing I can think of is, and it doesn't look like this is the case, if they were bracketing this guy. If that's the case, then it's this guy's fault. But it doesn't look like that's what happened. Because if not, that safety would drive on that quicker. So, you never know. Execution is bad. It looks like just too deep, too high, man under. But showing that because we're not the only people who don't execute well sometimes. Like these guys are 18 or 22, 23 years old. Sometimes you have no idea what these guys are going to do sometimes. I've been there. I was a player, and even though I felt like I was doing the right thing, sometimes you just have a brain lock. It happens. I was watching our 94 game today, and one of our DBs, we had two brain cramps in the secondary. That game. Georgia defense is legit, man. This defense is legit. Very good tackling. So that's the first series for both of those guys. I kind of did two with Georgia because they had that over snap for a touchdown. So I went ahead and did a couple more plays. So that's what it is. For me, I think we have to do a few things. I guess, to me, keys of the game is we have to, in my opinion, you got to do sort of like we did against Mississippi State. We have to play coverage. Guarantano is a deep ball guy. He's a big play guy. So putting our guys on islands, allowing him to throw 50-50 balls, to me, is not the right thing to do. To me, I think we should mix it up. I would like to see some more zone blitzes. I would like to see us mix up some coverages, maybe throw in some trap coverages, make it look like quarters, throw in a cover 2, make it look like cover 3, play quarters, etc. I like to see us mix up some coverages and confuse Guarantano. Because if you sit back there and allow him to see what you're playing, cover 0 or 1 high with man-to-man underneath, I don't think is the right thing to do. So we got to limit their chunk plays, period. One way to limit their chunk plays, we got to stop the run. We cannot allow him to play action fake and get those chunk plays. So we got to stop Eric Gray. We got to stop Chandler, which I think we can do. Because I think we are pretty much mirror teams. We are that Spider-Man meme where the two Spider-Mans are pointing at each other. We are very similar. Similar in a lot of aspects. Defensively, our front is a little bit better, but we have the same issues defensively. Offensively, we have the same issues. We have a quarterback that I feel like people underappreciate, and Terry and Tennessee underappreciates Guarantano. We should have won that game last year if Pruitt would have came to his senses and sub Guarantano back in. So to me, we are the same team. And this game comes down to simple. Force Guarantano to fit the ball into tight windows, not give him man-to-man, where he can just throw up 50-50 balls. Play some zone, just like we did last week. We can't rush 3, though. That's not going to happen. But with this 3-4 defense, we can run some really good creative zone blitzes, and I think that can confuse them. and we can still rush 5 and play 6 in the back half, which means we'll just give up a couple zones on the knee. But if we do it right, we can fool him and not to let him get a pre-snap read of where we're gonna be. So I think we can delve into the bag, call up some nice zone blitzes. I think we can get pressure with just 4. We can bring 5 every now and then, but we can get pressure with just 4. Get some turnovers. Because Guarantano is going to give you. He's going to give you the ball. He's going to either fumble or he's going to throw the ball up. So we got to take advantage of that. Period. We have to take advantage of when he gives us a chance. And offensively, we have to establish the run. Their defensive front isn't very stout. Georgia figured that out. Arkansas had pretty good, decent runs on them. You got to establish the run. We have to get the tailbacks back in the passing game, just like against Auburn. And we didn't do it against Ole Miss because we freaking ran the ball almost 60 times for 7 yards an attempt. We didn't pass the ball a lot. So they were not there. Last week we had to keep them in coverage because of the exotic scheme that Mississippi State was running. So we had to kind of protect the O-line a little bit with keeping the backs in. This week we have to get back into giving those backs back into the passing game on some option routes so Terry can get some layups. We need some layups. We need some easy passes. We need to find a way to get Josh Ali the ball. He needs to be our first option on every pass play. That doesn't mean you're going to throw it to him, but he has to be option 1. We got to get him in the passing game. We got to get the running backs in the passing game. And I think we should be fine. I really do. This game is going to be a simple thing. Defense just cannot give the big plays. We can't turn the ball over, and we got to establish the run. Whoever establishes the run the best will win this game. That's period. Our defensive front, if Pascal is able to play and he's as close to 100% as possible, we have the advantage. And I think that our guys finally realize, I think the coaches, in a sense, realize the identity of this defense and what's best for us to run as a defense. And because of that, I think the guys bought into playing coverage more. Instead of trying to play man under or too high man under, playing a lot of zone is the best. For me, it's the best thing in college football because you get your eyes on the quarterback and you can hit a receiver anywhere down the field as long as the ball's not in there. And if you do, you only get a 15-yard penalty, not in the pros where you get the ball where the contact happens. So coverage is being eyes on quarterback, mixing up some zone coverage. There, you got to play man sometimes. You just can't play zone the whole game. You're going to have to mix in some blitzes, some zone blitzes, some man, etc. But the primary coverage should be zone because I don't trust Tennessee ability to pull off a 12-play, 15-play drive unless we have some penalties that gives them chunk yards free. So that's how I feel. I think we can pull this thing off. I will go with that a little later. Where are we at? We got 15 minutes. All right. So let me go over these picks for this week. So it's very interesting this week with all these games. I just found out that hold on one second. I just found out that the reason why our game was moved, I had no idea. So because of this whole Vandy deal, next week game has been moved, which to me is really advantageous for us. Because playing Georgia next week was going to be tough. But now not getting Georgia, man, it really pisses me off even more that we didn't do well the first 2 weeks. So this is how I'm going to pick it. I got Auburn I got us, and I'm not superstitious. I wanted to do the old, well, let me pick Tennessee just so I'm not superstitious, that so I don't jinx the team. Screw that. There's no jinx in that. We win this game. I got it really. I've got it. It's either gonna be 20 or 24-17. That's what I got our game as. Ole Miss just has too much, man. And offensively, I don't think Arkansas can threaten that defense enough. And Arkansas defense cannot hold Ole Miss offense. It's going to be a high-scoring game, but I just can't see Ole Miss going to Arkansas with all that talent offensively and losing that game. I just can't see it. Lane Kiffin's going to have that team back like Hugh Freeze had them a few years ago real soon, because they got the offensive weapons because they left from Rich Rod and they came to Kiffin. So Kiffin had the tools in the toolbox offensively. He just got to get it defensively. So this game is out. Texas A&M, Mississippi State. This is a tough one, but I just Mississippi State has a very good defense. I just don't think Leach has. Well, Andy, what? Well, let me stop. What are you saying, Andy? Brett? What are you whatting about? Oops, what are you whatting about? Help me out, because I'm trying to see why you saying what? Ping me back. So, get my stuff back. So, I had Auburn, Kentucky, Ole Miss. And I guess we can cancel out this game too, as I see. Yeah, and that's Vanderbilt, Missouri game, the LSU, Florida game are canceled, postponed. That's why we're playing next week. We're not going to play. Yeah, me neither. I heard it late too. Next week we're going to play Missouri instead of Georgia, and we're going to play. So they flipping those games. So instead of Georgia on the 24th, we're going to play Missouri on the 24th, and then Georgia on the 31st, which is not very good if you really think about it, because 3 out of 4 games, I think the next 4 games is Georgia, Bama, then Florida. So, but it is what it is. And we play Vandy before Bama, and we get a bye week, and then a bye week, we get Georgia, bye week, Vandy, Bama, Florida. So it's not that bad. Getting that bye week helps out to Georgia. So I have Texas A&M. As I was saying, Leach just doesn't have the quarterback that he wants yet. He just doesn't have him. So until he gets that, and until he gets the receivers, see, that's the thing about that first week. And the problem is, when you play man-to-man, that's to the advantage of the receiver. Receivers doesn't have to be a great route runner. He doesn't have to know when to sit down in the zone. He doesn't have to be precise in his route running. All you got to do is beat you off the line of scrimmage and beat you one-on-one. And those mesh routes that Leach runs all the time, give you a little high-low action, just doesn't work against zone as much. I mean, it gets you into the zone if the guys run it right, but his receivers are not elite receivers. Once he gets that quarterback, his system will get better. And then when he gets receivers, since he runs this system, and there are receivers in Mississippi, he just got to start recruiting them now. Because now he has a system that rivals the Ole Miss system. So now they will be competing for a receivers, which is going to be interesting. Because one thing that's happening in Mississippi that people need to take notice of is Deion Sanders is now at Jackson State. He's going to infiltrate that pipeline a little bit. Some of them guys are going to rather go to Jackson State than go to Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Because trust me, there is not a damn thing in Starkville and in Ole Miss is you got to basically go to Memphis, which is right across the border, but that's where you got to go. So Mike Leach is going to be there soon. Now, I hear a lot of people giving Georgia a disadvantage. And I'm going to just tell you, I don't see it. I can't see it. I don't know how you see it. Here's the deal. Georgia's defense is very good. Tops in the conference. Their offense is not. Alabama has too much talent on both sides of the ball. And that's going to be tough for Georgia to match Alabama's scoring. That's why I can't see Bama losing at home to Georgia with Georgia having Bennett as their starting quarterback. I just can't see it. Georgia's not going to give up a lot of points, but I don't think they're going to put up a lot of points on Alabama. So I got Georgia winning that game, period. So, you know what? I'm going to do this. I got, 5 minutes left? So what I'm going to do is, as I said, I was watching that 94 game that we played, and we got skull drag 52-0. I think they kicked a field goal. It was the microcosm of us playing Tennessee. It really is. Defensively, we didn't play that poorly, but with the way our offense played that game, it was just not a good look. They kept getting short field. We kept turning the ball over. It's interesting to me how we play Tennessee and can't win. Last time we won with a freaking wide receiver playing quarterback. And then it was 84 last time we won at Neyland Stadium. But we'll beat Georgia, which has more talent than us every year on paper. Every year. Georgia has some of the best talent in the conference, period. How do we beat Georgia? I beat freaking Georgia in my 4 years at Kentucky. We should have beat them twice. But I beat them once. In 96. We should have beat them in 94. I had a pick six in that game that put us ahead, and we should have shut the door on the next drive, but we didn't. But we could beat Georgia, but we can't beat freaking Tennessee. It's the craziest thing, man. I just don't get it. So I came across this play. So for people who don't know the old days, who I am, this is basic me. Bam. That's me. So all I want to show, and I talk a lot of stuff about technique. Now, I didn't wrap them up, but what did I say one time? Turn them inside to your boys. And one reason I didn't wrap up, because I was getting blocked. I was trying to defeat this block. But I want to show people, same foot, same shoulder. See that right foot in the ground? Same foot, same shoulder. That's how you get leverage when you tackle, period. This is how you get leverage and power, same foot, same shoulder. That's how I hit this guy on the 4, and I pushed him back all the way to almost 4 yards back. And because of that, I pushed him back inside. Now I push him back to the boys. I don't quit. Now he lost 4 yards. And this is why I can confidently say that the guys are not reacting. Now we're in man. I'm coming from a long way. I'm coming like a scalding dog, same foot, same shoulder, trying to make a play. I'm not waiting for him. I'm not sitting down, chopping down, waiting for a tackle. This is just the way I think you should play. Shoot your shot. Now, George Harris did a great job of pushing them to me. So there was not that far from, he didn't have a big phone booth to shake me. And now I'm just shooting my shot. Shoot your shot. Now, of course, it'd be better if I wrapped up. Nah, there's no doubt. But like I say, this guy's pushing me, blocking. It's a little hard in full speed to sometimes do the perfect thing. But same foot, same shoulder, allowed me to push him back. And now where is he going? Going back to the big boys. Going back to the boys who really come in with some anger. That's my man Slagle. Also a Louisiana native. Now I didn't quit. Still got, I know they didn't give me a half a tackle on that, but so what? But I just wanted to show it since a halftime. I still have a little more time. Let's see. Anybody have any questions? I don't see any questions on Twitter and no questions on Periscope. As you saw earlier, my former teammate Andy Britt sent a message on via Periscope, and I was able to answer his question. If you have any questions, you can always tweet me or you can post on Periscope while I'm broadcasting live. I feel good about this week. I feel real good about this week, actually. I think everything should. The game being moved to October. We're getting them early. We're not getting them out to playing Georgia. We're not getting them with a, like last year we should have won that game with a wide receiver playing quarterback. I think this is the time. 2018, we beat Florida on the road. 2020, we're going to beat Tennessee on the road. That's just how I see it. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in, taking time out of your day, watching me just ramble. Let's cheer hard for these boys tomorrow. It's 11 o'clock game, 11 o'clock Central. I need to have a good rest of my day. I need to have a good day tomorrow. And again, as I said, appreciate you guys watching. And I will see you guys Monday, hopefully with a smile on my face.